On this episode of Second Act Podcast, we have the controversial star of VICELAND'S Dope Sick Nation, who also is the star of the award-winning documentary American Relapse. We have Allie Severino. You're not going to want to go anywhere. Welcome back to Second Act Podcast. My name is Justin Sims. I'm here with Michael Stone, my co-host. And our lovely guest today is the innovative, creative, unbelievable force that is Allie Severino. Allie, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. We're all about bringing people in that have gone through extraordinary things and are doing amazing things now, and you fit that T. So where are you from?
I went to high school here in South Florida, but I was born in New Jersey and spent some time in New York and Florida, a lot, until I kind of made Florida my home.
Okay, so you're based out of, it's Boca, right?
Boca Raton.
They call you guys Boca bitches, right? You've heard that?
Totally.
Do you fit that?
I don't know. More as time goes on a little bit. I'm not
She'll
gonna lie.
be fitting it now that she's famous.
Yeah, she's fit. Well, we'll get to that in a little bit. She's famous. For now, we'll talk about the infamous Allie. So, you grew up in Boca.
Yes.
How were you as a kid?
Like what age kid?
Let's start at 3. How were you as a kid? How was the family life? What's the family life like?
Okay, so 3. I mean, I was a smart kid. I was a very smart kid. Very with my dad a lot on the roofs of houses, and the hammer and the thing. Like, it was my favorite thing to do. And my mom and dad split when I was 2 or 3.
So it didn't affect you, or did it?
I don't know. I've never thought about it too much. I've never really had my mom in my life very much. It's mainly been my dad. I lived with my mom till I was 7. We lived in Florida, in Tampa, Florida. And I went to Disney with a friend and came home. My mom was gone. She packed up, moved, and left me there. The lady who took me to Disney was like, "What do we do? What the fuck?"
So literally you went to Disney World as a little kid, came home, mom was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And that was Father's Day, 1997. I was 7 years old, so then I went and moved in with my dad. And I didn't see my mom for another 5-6 years after that, or talk to her. And we kind of reunited for a little bit there because of my grandparents, but...
Do you know where she was in that time?
I don't. I have no idea. My dad, though, had quit drinking. My dad has wanted me before I was born. You know, one of those dads. He's great.
I can relate.
Yeah, he's awesome. So, he cleaned up and yeah.
So you had a solid parental unit. Mom was out of the picture. Didn't really affect you too much, you say. And you were always that little girl that was daddy's little handy girl.
Mm-hmm.
Hand me the hammer, give me a hug, whatever it was, you were right there. So you started going to elementary school, normal childhood, smart kid.
I always had a little bit of a big mouth. You know what I mean? That's what everyone will tell you.
Like a fresh mouth, or you just talk to everybody, or both?
A little fresh. Depends on the person. But maybe it was a lot mainly with women, so that might have been an effect from my mom.
From your mom.
You know what I mean? I had a thing with women where I was just very fresh. I was fresh. And because of everything that kind of went on when I lived with my mom, I failed first grade. So I got held back in first grade. And I didn't want to tell my dad when I started living with him because I was embarrassed. So, it never really, how to do first grade again. So my dad worked really hard to get me to take this big standardized test. And then I was able to skip third, and because I was so smart, but my mom moved me so many times.
You had so much going on outside of school.
Mm-hmm.
So your dad probably saw that it affected you, and you'd beaten yourself up for not getting in, so you wanted to really focus on, we're going to get her to second grade.
Mm-hmm.
What a good dad.
Yeah.
So you're a little bit of a smart mouth, but you're a good kid nonetheless. Mm-hmm. So then elementary school, nothing major. Middle school still?
Middle school, so middle school was good. First time I smoked weed was 5th grade. I guess that's when I went to school, it was called intermediate school. That was 4th and 5th grade. So
the jump before elementary and middle.
Yeah, okay. Middle and high school. Between middle and high school, they have intermediate, or whatever. So, that was interesting. And then I think I went to foster care when I was 7th grade.
Now, why did you go into foster care?
Oh, my dad was like, you know who I haven't talked to in a while? Allie's mom. You know? So they were like, oh, hey, Jen. Oh, hey, Frank. Oh, you're looking good. Oh, yeah, great. Come on my boat. And then they ruined our lives again for the second time. And, you know, my mom is she can be very vindictive. So she was mad at my dad, so she called the school. And my dad had started drinking again after having like 5 years sober. And, yeah, so they took me out of the house for about a year and a half.
So, just so the viewers are clear, so you... Okay, so you're going to school, dad decides, I miss mom. Let me reach out to mom. They reconcile. You say, ruined our lives again. So they get together. The honeymoon phase is...
Couple months.
Then the shit hits the fan,
Yeah.
and your mom is mad at your dad, so she calls the school and says what? He's drinking? Like,
Yeah,
what
he's being abusive. My dad, when he started drinking again, when my dad started drinking again, I started to use drugs, basically. Because it was like, you're doing whatever you want, I'll do whatever I want.
So that gave you the permission. That gave you the green light.
Yeah, I'm doing whatever I want now. You know, you're living like that, I'll live however I want to live. And I felt like I was taking care of myself because I did have a stepmom for a little bit, but she had left.
I would imagine that somebody in your situation could easily build a resentment towards the parent of going, you know, I'm having these issues because of the situation you're putting me in, and then I'm getting punished because I act out.
Right.
Is that how you felt?
I don't know if I could, I remember at times feeling like when I was in foster care, it was easier for me to feel feelings like that because it became very real. I was in a home with people I didn't know, with other kids I didn't know, far away. I had to change schools.
Before we get there, what was the conversation? You said it happened at school. Take me to that conversation where they sit you down. I'm the principal. You're Allie in middle school, and I'm telling you that you're going to go to foster care again. How does that conversation go down?
You know, well, that day started off strange because I had been like beefing with one of my teachers, I'd say.
The smart mouth again.
The smart mouth. My mouth gets me in all the trouble. So, and I don't know, I was writing like, I love George de Blasio, like over and over again. And like, I was supposed to be doing something else, and she was pissed at me. So she said that I threatened to do something to her at the dinner dance, which was not true. And so she brought me to the principal's office, kicked me out of her class. So now I'm kicked out of music class, and I get there, and they're like, well, you're also...
For threatening the teacher, supposedly.
For allegedly threatening the teacher. And, you're also not going to go home today. And it was just like, oh, my God.
Wow.
So, but in the beginning of that...
What did you do with that, walking back to class?
I didn't. I stayed in the principal's office.
So what did you do sitting there with that? What you were 13?
14.
14? What does a 14-year-old do with that kind of information on their lap? What was going through your head?
I don't even remember, honestly. I don't really think about it that much, and I think maybe I always stopped thinking about it, because it was kind of like you get thrown into survival mode. It's not like, oh, how do I feel? It's like, what am I going to do?
Fear of the unknown.
Where am I going?
What is going to happen next?
What's going to happen to me? Right. And I was lucky. My friend's parents became my foster care parents for a little bit in the beginning until all the weed smoking and the George de Blasio's came over, and then they were like, yeah, get the fuck out.
Okay, so let's go into that.
Uh-huh.
So then you go into foster care. You think this is actually a God-sent situation. I've got my friend's parents are going to be there. It's the next best thing.
They're
They're sober.
A nice house.
They know me. I can be myself. And
Totally.
then what happened?
Now we're going into summer. And I have a summer job at a camp, washing dishes. And, I had been like smoking weed. It hadn't really been a problem per se, because my dad wasn't paying attention to me. But now with her parents kind of paying more attention to everything we were doing, we decided to get a tent. Right?
Smart kid.
Thinking.
Yeah.
Always
There you
coming
go.
in
Planning. Plotting.
plotting. We saw a commercial for a tent, and we like literally looked at each other. We're like, yo, that's the best idea ever, right? And so
Mom, we're gonna camp out tonight.
literally every night.
Don't worry, we'll be fine.
We'll be
in the
fine.
backyard.
In
We're
the
in the
backyard,
backyard.
literally.
We're
So, and it's New York, so we got a little bit more land than down here. So we're in the backyard, camping out every night. It was so fun. That tent was like the best. Us in our hair, and we are dying laughing. Like, we can't get it together.
Stupid high. Silly stoned.
Silly stoned, get inside, run right to her room, and we're like, our faces in a pillow, like laughing, right? We're dying. And I'm like, Dad, I'm so hungry. She's like, no. No. And I'm like, I'm so hungry. And I eventually convinced her to get food with me, and she's like, all right, just don't, be inconspicuous. I'm like, all right. Her parents are like eating, and I get one thing, and I'm like, well, this kind of looks good too, And so then I have a smorgasbord of fucking food. We look stoned as fuck, whatever. So I guess that was the big, day that they were really like.
The 10 bags of Cheetos that you guys blew through.
Yeah.
Gave it away.
Yep. So yeah, her
So
mom
then
came
from
downstairs and was like, "How's it going?"
You're like, it's great.
Yeah.
As you're eating the kitchen. Nothing's wrong as my eyes are red like the
It's
Kool-Aid
weird,
Man.
right? Yeah, it's all good.
So she finds out that you're Bob Marley incarnate.
Yeah.
And then what?
She wakes me up off the couch and they do like a investigative, like they lock Amy in her room, make her put music on, and they like start questioning us.
Wow.
Like
Separately.
Separately. Yeah.
Wow. They were good.
They were really good, but they weren't as good as us. Because we had this thing. We blamed everything on a fake person named George. And we had been doing this for a long time. So it was George Vanacore. He sold us they want to know who sold us the weed. Like, that's crazy. Like, we were like, and I can't believe she said the same thing. I was like, this is great. But they took their doors off our hinges and whatever. It was this, big thing. And when her parents ended up going to court, they basically said, like, Allie is bad for, her mom's name was Ramona, bad for her health, and they wanted me to leave.
So then where did you go?
Then I went to the Haines Residence, which was a foster home, and
How was that?
it was okay.
How many kids were there besides you?
When I first got there was a bunch of boys. There was four boys there. I was the only female. And they were all right kids, And then had my first female roommate, and she came in. First thing she said, "I hate females." And I was like, "Oh, good."
Hi, I'm Allie.
Hi.
Yeah, where do you go
Like
from
little
there?
Allie, right? I'm like, "Hi, okay." She's like almost 18. Like, she smokes cigarettes. Like, and I'm like, "Oh God." I
She's
smoke
hardcore.
cigarettes too, but she's like hardcore. Like, she's getting high with her dad and shit, And I'm like, "Oh, all right." And then we smoked weed and became friends.
Okay, so you stayed and lived in that situation for how long?
I was probably there for like 9 months. But, so I get out off of house arrest and I come home, my caseworker or social worker brings me home, and I forgot my boombox at the fucking foster home. It's bothered me till
dating
this
yourself
day.
now, the boombox.
Yeah, my
I should
boombox,
forgot.
I was so mad. And so anyway, I get home and the house is like clean, super clean. And I was like, all right.
HRS, DCF ready.
Yeah,
Off the floor clean.
exactly.
Right.
Like, my dad
Daddy's-
is ready. He is
Okay.
like not gonna fuck this up, right? And she's like cool and looks around and all good. She leaves. She drops me off. My dad cracked a beer. And
Right when she left.
Right when she left, to kind of be like, this is the deal.
He started pushing buttons like, this is not a library.
Yeah.
Into a bar. Starts. All right. So the real dad comes
Yeah.
out when the HRS lady leaves.
Dad comes out, yeah.
And what was your reaction to that?
I was hurt. You know what I mean? Like, I really was like, why can't you can't stop drinking to get your kid back?
Mm.
Right? And now I see it differently. But at the time, I really didn't. I couldn't understand how a parent could not care that much to just stop drinking. Like, if you want your kid to be home.
So that feeling,
Mm-hmm.
did that give you an even more crystal clear green light to, well, F it.
Yep. And that night I smoked weed in my room, which I would have never done. Like, and I told my dad I smoked weed and that I'll be doing it in the house if he's going to be drinking. And he said, okay. I said, great.
How do you say that to your dad? Listen, we walk in with a joint.
Because I'm an adult
Listen,
now.
Dad, this tent with the muddy shit on the hill, I'm not doing anymore.
Yeah.
It's going to be all in the house now. Like, how do you go, like, how do you tell her? If I told my mother that now at 37, she'd smack me across the face.
Well, because I knew he
You
felt
would.
guilty. You know, like, how are
Played the
you
guilty
going to...
card.
How are you going to be drinking still? I'm an adult. You don't even know the nightmare I just lived.
Because of you.
Because
Is
of
what you
you
feel.
and my mother. And neither of you really did anything to change. And you're showing me he was making it a thing. I'm drinking. You didn't wait a day. You didn't want to wait a day. You didn't want to lie. I'm drinking.
Just to let you know, this is how it's going to be.
This is how it's going to
Fair.
be. So I'm letting you know this is how it's going to be. You know what I mean? Like, whatever.
How did he take that?
Nothing.
Anything that was going to help him have her let him drink, I'm sure
Yeah.
he was fine with.
And have her in the house.
Yeah.
Right.
So now I've got both. I've got my
Him.
daughter and my
She's going to
drink.
let me drink and she's in
Exactly.
the house. That's fine. She wants to smoke weed, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
My parents let us smoke weed.
Mhm.
They didn't know back then how bad it was. My parents we smoked weed in the house. Smoked weed
Y'all had
forever
different
when I was
houses
in
than
high
me,
school.
man.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
parents
no, it wasn't
they were
cool.
always super liberal, like we're trying to be the
Hippies.
kind of like hippies but lawyers. Hippies.
Lawyer hippies.
But they always let us, me and my friends, we always smoked in my house.
Well, I know it's a lot of parents think that.
Yeah.
I'd rather them do it in my house
Right.
Yeah.
than be out on the street doing it somewhere.
Yeah.
But what was it that in your guys' situation? When the
They
parents...
just didn't know how to them it wasn't that.
Is it bad?
It was just kids
I don't
being
think
It
kids.
it's
wasn't
that
the
bad.
devil weed to them. I mean, they were like, till my dad became a judge. Then every day I had to hear about it from my mom. You're going to get your dad in the newspapers. He's going to get, if anything happens
Yeah.
to you,
The
he's
pressure
gonna
of
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
You graduate.
Oh no, I came to Florida. I eventually moved down to Florida.
Okay, so you eventually can't maintain the house in the woods anymore.
My dad sold it.
That's why.
Yeah.
So then you moved to where in Boca?
I moved to West Boca, Sandalfoot in West Boca. Yep.
How did that feel coming from New York to Florida? Did you hate it? Were you
Yes.
anti-Florida?
Yes.
F all of you.
Fucking.
Why am I waiting
didn't
so long
even-
in line at
I
Publix?
didn't talk to my dad for maybe a month.
Because you were here.
Yeah, I was because I had a boyfriend in New York, you know, and like
That you were going to spend your whole life with.
we
I'm
were
sure.
gonna get married.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously,
Meant to be.
we were gonna get married, have kids. We already had names picked out, and he was basically staying at the house with me a lot of the time. And his mom was bringing me like laundry detergent and stuff, which was cool. And
So you took me from that, Dad. You ripped
took me from my
out of it.
life. My friends who were my family up there, you know what I mean? Like, they helped take care of me that entire time. When I was out in bumfuck Egypt in foster care, they came and drove out there and hung out with me and picked me up. Like, they're my friends, you
And
know?
you took me from that, and now here I am in this random place.
With these bougie ass people. You know, I don't have
Focused up,
money. Like, oh my God, why are we here? Like, I was so nervous to go to West Boca High. It was the most nervous I've ever been. I've been to a million schools. And
So
I
then
was-
you walk into West Boca High the first day. Here's this pretty girl with not $1 million, looking at the other pretty girls with $1 million. How does that work?
I didn't talk to anyone. I was gonna reinvent myself. Was my plan.
To what?
Quiet, no trouble, no nothing. Didn't talk to anyone about drugs. But someone came to me and they're like, "Oh, you're the weed girl." Weed girl. But now as an adult, I look at my younger self with my Rastafarian shoelaces on my Converses.
It's like
my
stamped on your forehead.
Literally, okay.
Pothead.
I'm like, I'm not gonna tell anyone, but I just totally look like I smoke weed, right? I'm like representing weed in every way possible. So, yeah.
But thinking nobody knows.
Yeah, no one knows.
I'm
I'm gonna be
I'm
quiet,
Fooling everyone.
and that's it.
So another pothead at school recognizes another pothead and
Yeah.
says, hey.
Well, you know, I didn't make a lot of friends in West Boca High, honestly, in school. I made friends with, so that boyfriend I was in love with, that I was gonna marry, like basically the day I moved to Florida, he got a new girlfriend.
Wow.
Yeah. What a fucking scumbag. So I was so pissed, right? Justin.
Justin.
Not this Justin.
Nah,
you, Justin, with
you.
a Y.
Not this Justin.
So, I was so mad. And it was like midnight, and I was like, Dad, I'm gonna go for like a walk, you know? And I started kind of behaving a little bit better. And I went for a walk. Like, because if my dad was like, yo, be home at 9, I was always home at 9. You know, like, just tell me what to do. Just leave me alone besides that.
So you respected his rules and
Yeah,
stuff?
totally.
I did that too. I mean, I was never broke. I would be out doing all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Getting high. If that's another story for another time, but I was like never late past curfew.
Yeah, you
I like
can't be
never
past curfew.
I never broke my parents' rules. My friends were like always in trouble, always huge fights with their parents, like a daily basis. I like never broke the rules. I always
you guys
made
were, like,
sure I was fucking home so
when they
I
said-
could keep my thing
Freedom.
going.
Yeah, you can't keep your freedom
Yeah.
if you.
So you would
fuck it up.
cross the T, guys, at 9
Yeah.
p.m. or whatever, but you'd be
Yeah.
high or drunk or
Yeah.
whatever.
You know? Yeah, exactly.
You would just be where you said you were supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah,
Just not mentally there.
Trust.
yeah,
So you ultra manipulated.
absolutely.
Okay, so
So listen, I go for this jog, right? I go to the swing set. I love the swings. And I still go on the swings today. So I'm there. I'm thinking about life. Like, oh, it's just, you know. And I'm walking back home and I hear, yo! Look around. New neighborhood. I don't know where the fuck I am. There's this kid on a bike. Like dark circles under his eyes, right? He's like, hey, you party? And I was like, yeah. He's like, how old are you? I lied. And I was like, 17. Right?
but you're really
15.
15
I'm like 17. I might have said I was 16. But old enough.
and a half.
I'm old enough. Why? What you doing?
How old do I need to be?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
And he was like, I'm going to a party. And I was like, I'll go to, and normally I'm not a party type. I'm more of like a get high in my house kind of person.
Be by yourself.
Yeah. And I was like, all right, I'll go to a party, right? Like, I'm ready to go to a party tonight. And he was like, well, it's not really a party. I'm kind of getting high at my house. And I'm like, even better, dude. Let's go.
That's my
right?
kind of party.
Yeah.
Where's it at?
So, you know, I'm following him and we're walking. His name's Zach. And we walk down one street and another. And I'm like, I live on this street too. He goes, I live on this street too. We lived right across the street
This
from
is
each other.
perfect.
We became best friends like that. Best friends.
So now you have somebody.
I have somebody. He just got off a raging heroin addiction, which I didn't really know about.
But he's damaged goods just like me.
He's perfect. Me and Zach ended up being like best friends. Second day hanging out, I did Xanax. Being in Florida, never heard of Xanax in New York.
What did that do for you versus the weed and a little bit of drinking that
I
you
don't
do?
remember.
So blacked out.
Blacked out, yeah.
Yeah, which is a common thing for a lot of people that eat Xanax. It's
Yeah.
instant blackout.
Instant blackout. And
So you
that
blacked
kinda
out.
be
Did you
my
like
thing.
it?
Yeah.
So you were like, I need to get that time traveling blackout feeling again.
Every day.
It's scary.
Yeah.
So then you started to
Yeah.
eat Xanax every day.
Often.
How would
Yeah.
you take them? You'd eat them or snort them or what?
Both. A lot of snorting. So I didn't know. So I did him the one night. My dad couldn't wake me up for school. He said, I thought you were dead. I couldn't wake you up. I'm like, I don't remember anything.
You were finding an identity though.
Yeah.
And you're probably feeling secure in it because you had been so transient in these crazy situations that now you were digging in a situation.
Yeah.
So then what happens? So things are going good. We're smoking weed, splitting cigarettes. This is your partner in crime.
Ecstasy.
Then ecstasy came along.
And then me and Zach kind of drifted away a little bit because Zach wasn't doing uppers. He was doing downers, you know, and the pill mills were big back then because this is like 05.
Oh yeah.
So it was just like,
So he started to dabble into oxys and stuff at
Yeah.
that point. So he's big into the blues, and you're going, I'm loving rolling.
yeah.
So that's a different kind of party.
Right. So we're kind of like going opposite directions, you know? And me and him, we had goals, you know? Zach's goal was to work at an animal hospital and steal all the ketamine. That's all he wanted to do. That was like his fucking life goal, right?
So
And
a
me and
big,
him-
like, just supply
just
of
all
Special
it.
K.
Yeah, exactly. And we would like talk about our goals while smoking our 100
What was yours?
basic 100s. My goal was to be like a big drug dealer, but I wanted to be a good drug dealer. Like I wanted to have everything they wanted, like not just like one drug, but like all the drugs.
So you could do all your shopping in one visit
one
without
person, right?
Right,
Like, I was like, that's what I want. I want to be like Pop, and he'd be like, okay, Scarface, right? And you're like, we would talk shit to each other. Well, that's what I ended up doing, and that's what Zach ended up doing.
Wow, so you
Oh,
reached your
dude.
goals.
The fucking secret what you can believe and conceive, you can achieve, dude.
You guys spoke that into existence.
I no joke, literally spoke it into
So
existence.
the secret can work for good or evil. 'Cause
Hell
you
yeah!
spoke these negative things into your life. That's crazy.
Yep, I was working at Party City too, and
Of course you were, because you were Party City.
I am the Party City.
So you're working at Party City, and you're selling every kind of
Ecstasy.
drug
Nah,
you
I
can
just
get.
got into ecstasy basically until the oxys came. But yeah, mostly ecstasy because I was like having fun. Like I was going to the rave clubs and like.
Were you out of high school by now?
No, I'm in high school.
You're in high school.
No, I'm going to
still.
school sometimes. One day I had done Roxy's a few times, which OxyContin, and it never really stuck with me. But I had been doing, I did ecstasy on the weekends, but my big thing was Coke and Xanax.
During the week. Or
During
just
the
to
week.
maintain.
Yeah, every day. I used to have this little black book where I wrote kind of every day what I did.
To help you remember, because you're
Help me
using
remember.
Xanax.
Yeah, help me remember. And I wanted to kind of track my, I don't know what my fucking idea.
Well, you created a chemical chaos because you're taking in Xanax was an extreme downer, and then Coke was an extreme upper.
Yeah.
So that's extremely unhealthy, and you were doing that on the regular.
Yeah, every day.
And then ecstasy on the weekends.
Yeah.
So you were just this trash can of chemicals.
Totally. Yeah.
What did that do for you physically? Like, what was that like health-wise?
Honestly, it wasn't that bad until I got on Oxy. I mean, it was bad, I guess, but I managed okay. I never drank alcohol, which I think helped me a lot. I think if I would have drank alcohol on top of a lot of that, I would have been way worse off. But I always had a big thing against drinking because of my parents.
Because your dad and stuff, yeah.
And, I mean, it made me fucking stupid.
It didn't make you smarter.
It didn't make me smarter, but really it made me dumb. And it made a lot of friends not want to be around me because I would get so fucked up, so barred out that I was just like just reckless and just
Sloppy, angry.
sloppy and and like they'd have deep conversations with me and I'd forget them, stuff like that. And so yeah.
So you started to see relationships deteriorate a little bit. So, but you're still eating the Xanax and you're still snorting the Coke. And you're still selling at this point. So let's move past what would be the time that you would graduate. What happened with school? How did that fizzle out? You just couldn't maintain
I got
everything?
arrested.
For what?
Drug trafficking.
In Boca?
Yes.
What'd they get you with?
They had caught me. They had been watching me for a few months. So they caught me on 4 separate deals. The first 3 deals were ecstasy, hundreds of ecstasy pills, and then the last deal was Roxy's and Xanax.
So this is a pretty serious situation now.
Yeah.
What are they trying to charge you with?
120 years in prison as an adult. I was only 17, but they were fucking pissed.
Because of the statute where you can kill someone if you have that amount of drugs?
Yeah,
type of
and
thing?
just so it's 4 separate counts plus conspiracy counts, and they all, I guess, have a maximum of 30 years minimum, but they each have a mandatory minimum of 3 years for each count.
So you're looking at least 3 per...
Right.
3 times 4.
Right.
So 12 years minimum you're looking at, and you're this high school
17,
kid.
Yeah. 17.
What is going through your mind with that kind of information?
Fuck them. Right? Like, they can't do that to me.
That's what you were thinking?
Yeah.
Fuck them?
Do they know who I am?
I'm Princess Ecstasy
Dude,
from New
it's
York.
so stupid. I was just so ignorant.
So what did end up happening? Because you weren't untouchable, I'm sure, like you thought you were.
Did they give you a chance to like turn anyone in?
Yeah.
So they gave you the chance to snitch.
So I got kicked out of school. And the only way you can get back into schools down here in Palm Beach County if you have a drug trafficking charge is if you snitch on someone else in the school.
Which could get you killed.
Well, it's West Boca High, so probably not.
Probably not.
I'm not in West Boca
But
High.
my dad just didn't believe in that either. And he always taught me to never, ever, ever snitch. You never do it, right? And I wanted to tell the vice principal so badly that his fucking own daughter was selling Roxy's in the school. That's the one thing I wanted to do.
Ooh,
And my
yeah.
dad was like, do it, fuck him, right? Because he was pissed because they were giving me a really hard time. But I didn't, and they kicked me out. And I did phone school.
Phone school?
Yeah.
Phone school is like online school that is now, right?
Yeah. Before,
Is that, yeah, I've never
before the
even heard
internet
of
was
phone
big.
school.
big phone. Hi, Allie's here.
And then they do the math lesson while you're sitting with your worksheet or whatever?
Yeah, in my bedroom.
That sucks.
House arrest. Because I was on house arrest now when I got finally
For
got
the
bonded
second
out.
time?
No, the first time. House arrest, went to jail,
Okay.
got bonded out, got put on house arrest. Until I was on pre-trial release. And I was just getting high the whole time.
Did you have to take tests? Do you have to go for drug tests when you
Yeah,
were
good question.
pre-release?
I couldn't leave my house for anything, so they would come to me. They never
Bring a
drug
cup?
tested me.
No.
So you had the ankle bracelet on.
Yeah.
So they came to you but never drug tested you.
Trying to catch me slipping with their words, right? Like, all right, we're going to give you a drug test right now.
And you're like, okay.
And I'm like, all right, man, I'm facing 120 years. Like, you think I'm crazy?
So
I would
based
never
on your
do
reaction,
that.
based on your reaction.
They're looking for a reaction, right? And so they probably thought, this girl is no way she's that fucking stupid.
Right.
Which I was,
Which
obviously.
you were crazy. Yeah, you were playing with
Out
fire.
of control, selling drugs again after a few weeks.
While on house arrest.
While on house arrest,
Wow.
picked up my Roxy trade, and
Where'd you get Roxy's?
I sponsored a guy to go to the doctor.
So let's explain what that is.
Yeah, tell me what that is because I don't know. What does it mean?
Sponsoring someone is when back in the day the pharmacies weren't all on the same
This is like
system.
2006, right? Or
Yeah.
7.
Pill mills are still
Right.
prevalent.
Huge pill mills are huge,
Prevalent,
and
yeah.
the pharmacies they're not on the same
Computer system.
right computer system. So you can go to a bunch of different pharmacies a month. You just can't go to the same one in a
Right.
month.
And they won't know that you're going to the other
Right.
ones. I see.
Right.
Okay, and the doctors don't know.
You need
and
to
nobody
keep track
knows.
of all that shit in your head too. That's not
I
easy.
wrote it down.
I'm
in a
sure.
book.
I tried to keep. I had to keep track of it for years in my head.
Now,
Yeah.
when you say keep track, you guys mean like, okay, I've seen this guy 3 weeks
Went
ago.
to that pharmacy.
On
when
that
did you
date.
go?
You have to
Yeah.
know
So
the
you
date
don't
you
double
went.
visit anybody.
Nope.
So you're controlling all this chaos in your
Yeah.
head.
Fuck
I
yeah.
wrote it down.
That's crazy. You wrote it down, Michael. You had it here. You guys are nuts. All right, so guesstimation, how many?
I went to 12 doctors a month.
12 a month.
I
Never
paid
double
for
visit.
him to go. No.
I probably went to I think I had at least 7.
So you guys are serious. This is a big number. So you guys are at least
Yeah, but she had to get. She was making money.
right. This was
So-
just for you.
That was just for me.
Yeah. That's
So you guys are on average like 2 a week, give or take, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And you got to go there and give them your whole spiel.
But you
You see
don't
the
have to
same
go to the
doctors every
pharmacy
month.
a lot of times because
They
by
have
this
it there
time
sometimes.
you get your Roxy's at the doctor's office.
From
Like,
the doc
you wa-
himself?
Fuck yeah, you just
Never
walk
finds
to the
it.
next part of the doctor's office, give them your money, they hand you your Roxy's, and you're done.
That's crazy to me.
Crazy, it was crazy.
Wild time.
All right, so 2006. Now you're on house arrest. You're getting high the whole time. They never once drug tested you. You'd go in and tell them just like your dad did.
Yeah.
Everything looks great in the house. You can eat off
Yeah.
the floor, and as soon as they leave, the beer cracks open.
Right.
But for you, that beer was, I'm gonna do my Roxy's, my downers. Now you're heavy in the downers
Yeah.
now,
Big time.
and you're also selling.
And it's a big media a circus too as well. You got reporters knocking on my door. I'm going to court, like folders over my face. Everyone wants to get a shot of the blonde 17-year-old drug trafficker, you know,
Wow.
which made the sentencing a lot more difficult, you know.
So was your face was on the news and stuff? They had
yeah.
you cameras and
Often.
they were just plastering your face all over the place in this negative light.
Very negative. And, you know, I still thought it was cool. I'm infamous now.
And this is what you wanted. You
Right,
wanted to
I
be
wanted
this
to
big
be
drug
infamous.
dealer.
Yeah, I wanted to
Where
be
was Zach
infamous.
at the time? Had
Zach
a
got
special
the
K?
ketamine, and he brought it over, and I did it, and it was great. I mean, it was interesting. I didn't love it, but he was in a K-hole for like months. You know, so it was just like getting really like, please sentence me like now, because it's like,
End this already.
yeah, end this. I get sentenced. I pled youthful offender, which is
Yeah, what's that mean?
so YO program, youthful offender program is anyone who's their first time in trouble under the age of 25 can plead youthful offender, and it gives your judge more of a say in your sentence. I think your judge has a pretty good say, but like, because the prosecutors were like 3 years period, got him down to 3 years. That was a good deal. I was pretty happy with
Compared to facing 100 and whatever.
right. And you know, but I was still kind of like on this high horse. I like told my lawyer, I'm like, you can't get a fucking white blonde girl out of fucking prison. Like, you suck. Like, because I was just ignorant.
What's
on
wrong with
drugs
you?
And like,
you know
just
who I
like,
am?
I was like, I should have taken that money my dad gave you and went to Mexico. Like, I was like very ignorant. I had to call and make amends to
Wow.
Mr. Bear, my lawyer. Yeah, but you know, so yeah, they gave me the 3 years. The judge said no. And then they
Said no to what?
The 3 years. He said, I'm
Okay.
not going to send this girl to prison.
And you think you pleading how you pled helped?
Oh, yeah. Because
Okay.
it gave him that ability to
X
take
that.
mercy on me if he wanted to.
So what did he
know.
give you instead?
6 years probation.
Mm.
I could get early termination at 5 years, which I knew as soon as he said it wasn't going to happen. I couldn't believe I was going to be able to ever get 6 years without fucking up. Like, no fucking way, dude. I can't get through 6 months. There's no way. And 2 drug tests a month for those 6 years. I had to go get an evaluation done at the Drug Abuse Foundation, where I got pulled over again with a ton of crack on me. Cops found it.
This is in Palm Beach County? Yeah?
Palm Beach County in Boca. Like, big oxy bottle. The oxy bottles are big. I had it filled with crack. That
That's
was
a lot
fronted
of
to
crack.
me. And most of it was fronted to me. And so I owed the drug dealer who was in Boca Hospital having a baby with like his 15th baby mama. And cops pulled me over and the crack fell out in front of them and I got a crack pipe in my pants and they're like, oxys! They pick up this bottle, right? They're like shaking it. And I'm like, oh my god.
That's not Roxas.
That's not wrong. And that doesn't have my name on it either, right? So it's a pill bottle that doesn't have my name on it. It's full crack.
You're looking at a lot of felonies. Anyway.
Like just everything,
You're
okay?
done.
Just like fucked. And I'm like, I'm fucked. And I'm like, should I run? Like I'm thinking, run. Like
This
just
might
run.
be a better option.
Right.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of right now is run away.
And you're justifying that thought in your head.
Yeah. And I'm
Okay.
just sitting there and I'm like, oh, run, stay. What do I do? Be polite. I don't know. Another cop comes, right? I'm like, oh my god, I'm fucked. I'm fucked. I'm fucked. They're running my name. They say I'm all these trafficking charges. I'm on probation. Like, oh, dude, I was so stressed. Cop was like, all right, y'all good to go.
What?
What?
He's like, here's your crack in a
No, they kept the crack.
Roxy pill bottle that's
They
not
kept
yours.
it.
Have a good day. Well, okay, so they kept that and said you're good. How'd that work? How
Yeah.
long were you there for?
6 months.
6 months.
Mm-hmm.
What changes happened to you in those 6 months?
Oh, a lot. I mean, first of all, I wasn't the person in control anymore. Allie does not run the show in DAF anymore. That shit gets shut down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that
I went
was...
to DAF.
Yeah,
Right
that
from
was
jail.
hard for me.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Straight from jail.
Same thing with you. Did you realize there, Michael's not in control anymore?
When I got out of jail, I had bottles of my own Roxy's, like, at jail, waiting for me and my stuff.
Yeah, plan ahead.
Fuck yeah, when I got the police bring
They
you
didn't
from...
take it?
No, no. It's your own prescription. The police car brings you right from jail, gun club, to DAF, and they just let you off right at the...
Yeah, with your brown bag.
Goodbye with your brown bags.
On the
So I'm
curb.
like,
Have a good one.
yeah, so I had those when I got to DAF. I think I like took 1 or 2 of them and then gave them up. But DAF is kind of like jail too.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean, like trade
Everyone there,
stuff? And
all the clients at DAF are
Locked down.
from jail.
Yeah, and it's
Who
very...
parade to get out of jail to get into DAF.
So everybody's like,
Only a few
happy
people are
that
like
they're-
Allie. Yeah, that didn't go to jail and go right from there. So it's run like a jail.
Yeah.
The probation officers come to DAF
Mhm.
to see their
Regularly.
people. Yeah.
Did you find, like, because Michael's saying that the majority are there because of legal issues.
Yeah.
You didn't have that, but
I
you
was.
just... Well, you were.
Yeah.
So
I
you
had
You didn't come
to
right
spend
from
some-
jail.
I didn't
That's
come
what I'm
right
Right,
from
you didn't
jail.
get the
Most
free
people
car ride.
came right
Yeah,
from jail.
I had a little freedom before I came in.
Yeah.
You know, they gave me a hard time there because I was 18. My class was walking for graduation. I was sitting in rehab, right? I was a young kid. And they made sure everyone knew Allie's a little jit. Like, you know, she's never going to make it.
The
She
baby of the
sucks.
group.
She don't know shit about no life, you know? And because they're rougher women.
What did
And-
that do for you? Did that make you want to succeed more, or did that, like, deter you a little
You know, in
bit?
the beginning, nothing. I didn't care. I sat alone, and this lady was like, you don't gotta live like that no more, dude. Like, you don't gotta, like, exclude yourself and have your hoodie up and not talk and be so tough. You know, you don't have to be so fucking tough.
No TVs either.
Yeah, you have
I'm
no
thinking
TV,
about our
no
treatment
radio.
center that we have now. Everybody has their own own TV.
Yeah.
Their own fucking clickers, all that. You go to DAF,
Nothing.
you do not get to watch TV,
No
like
TV.
ever.
You get radio for 2 hours on Friday night, and that's it.
Yeah. It's
That's
not
why it
like
cracks me up when I used to work in treatment and I would hear kids like complain like my 52-inch flat screen doesn't fit on my
That's how
counter
come I couldn't
correctly, and I'm
handle
thinking
it.
to myself, you were sleeping behind a
Yeah.
dumpster last week.
Right,
Like, what are you talking about?
right.
Let's do this real quick, because rehab romances are a big thing.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to any viewer out there that's in a rehab romance or thinking about a rehab romance, please?
Probably don't do it. But I always want to say, if you do something, listen, okay. You can do anything you want to do in recovery, as long as you're willing to accept the consequences. You know, if you create a environment for yourself and a support system for yourself where you're able to take the heartache that is going to probably come, do it.
Go ahead.
You know that heartache might come. Make sure that you are grounded and you have those people in your life that you can lean on when it does happen. Do not make that person your program or recovery. That would be my best advice, because I feel like it's usable. Not just don't do it, because if you do it, I want to tell you what I thought was important for me.
Because they're not going to listen. They're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
So how long has it been since you picked up?
10 years, almost 10 years.
So you got
Coming up
almost
on
10 years
yeah.
clean and sober. That's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of stuff have you been able to do aside? Okay, let's transition from the country club. You're waiting, you're stacking money, you got your place, your $600 rent, you're doing the right thing, no stupid boy on the side. You're focusing on you, you're becoming Allie 5.0. What kind of opportunities and stuff has come along?
Well, I had some sketchy jobs in between, but for the most part, I wanted to have my own business. I became very entrepreneurial, and I wanted to be a life coach, but I was only 19, and it just wasn't going, right? No one wants that. So, and I realized, like, okay. Back to the drawing board. And I had made like business cards and shit too for a life coach.
You were
I was
really
like, I'm gonna be a life coach. I know what I'm doing at this point. I'm gonna tell people how to do it too, right? And you know, I'm sponsoring people this whole time, and I'm working a good program.
On fire.
Home group every week, same meetings, everything. And I was like, well, I'm gonna be a real estate agent. I met this guy, and I was like, what do you do? And he's like, I'm a realtor. And I'm like, you have a pretty cool life, huh? Because he's like, yeah, you know, kind of do what I want, and like, got a decent amount of money. And I was like, I'm gonna be a realtor. And so I signed up for real estate school. And I did the week-long class, and I was like, I'm gonna be like him. Like, he's killing it, you know? And I was like, where'd you start working? He's like, Rent One, Sale One. So I went there to go work, and I did my interview, and I didn't even bring a job resume because I never needed one, and I didn't really know how to do an interview because everyone had always gotten me a job, kind of, right? And they're like, yeah, no.
They were like,
hire me. So I was like, what the fuck? So I went to Keller Williams, and I sucked there, and they don't give you leads, and I was like, oh no, this isn't working out. And then I like went back to Rent One. I was like, I need a job here, and I like brought a resume. I was like, listen, last time I saw you, I was ill prepared. I'm prepared this time. I'm dressed better, and I have the resume, and I have a little bit of experience. I had sold one house at Keller Williams, and please hire me. And they're like, all right, but you gotta work 6 days a week, and it's hard work and whatever. And I was like, all right. So I did that, and it was exhausting. Rentals are just like very exhausting.
but you learned a lot, I'm sure.
I learned a lot, but I didn't want to do it. And I wanted to start a business. And I had worked at a magazine company on the phones prior. And I was like, you know, maybe I can start a magazine. My sponsor was like, dude, come up. And now I get a sponsor. My sponsor moved. I had to get a new one. I go to this lady who I think is very cool. And she's an old lady. I'm like, yo, you sponsor me? Like, my friends tell me that, like, you're like me or I'm like you. And, like, I want you to sponsor me, right? And she's like, yeah, no, I'm full, but I have a sponsee that needs a sponsee. And I'm like, all right, whatever. You know,
Next best thing.
You're the boss, right? So she brings me to this lady who has the same amount of time as me, which is fine. But I'd never had a sponsee before and didn't know the book. And I was kind of like, whatever, I'm supposed to be doing this. God brought me here for a reason, but you suck. But it's okay. Like, maybe we can help each other. She's great at business. So she helped me start my magazine. It's called Fresh Start Recovery Magazine. Had that for a few years, and I opened a Sober Living.
Wow.
which I loved. My male sober living, Barrington House, is in Lantana. It was like my favorite time of my life, probably.
Why?
I just like had so much fun. I had people working for me, like real employees. I had like 6 employees there. They were all amazing.
You were helping people.
I was
And you were doing the right thing.
And I was doing the right thing, and I got to hang out in a halfway house, like a real one, like where they have fun and like do pranks on each other. And I kind of was like in charge, you know. But I just had a great time, and it was a great people to be surrounded by, and the clients were amazing, and the staff was great, and I really, really, really had like the best. I cared about it so much. And now I had investors though, okay? So I had pitched this idea to my friends to buy foreclosed property. I'll fix it up with them and we'll make it a halfway house. So we're gonna make all this money, okay? Back when you could make money in a halfway house, okay? And so I had a meeting with the clients, and and they're doing so good. I mean, like, talk about brotherly love. Like, they're like gung ho together, right? Like, bet, like 24 clients, great friends. And so then I had to have a meeting with them.
And break it to them.
I said, listen, these are 2 places you can go.
Because you've established a magazine, you've built a house, created 2 things. You're an innovator at this point.
Well, I let the magazine go too for the halfway house. Because I was hiring all these salespeople and they sucked. They couldn't fucking close a door.
But you still created these things.
I created these things, yeah. And I had nothing now. Now I have nothing. I have some money. You know what I mean? But I don't really have anything else. So, you know, this whole marketing thing is going on. And I kind of get into that for a while. And, you know, I'm trying to...
For treatment centers.
For treatment centers, marketing, getting them clients. You know, I kind of have, like, the clients that know me now because of my sober living and XYZ and...
So that give you a nice pool to work
Yeah,
from.
and I had a reputable name because of my magazine. My magazine was like straight far halfway houses, like the best treatment facilities, like always advertised with me. Like I didn't have any scum in my magazine, like for real. I can really honestly say that. And so that was cool, but you know, then the whole industry got crazy. And then and that was only a few years ago, you know, so now we're at where we're at today. And I don't like the people in this industry a lot that have my job.
Why?
As marketing. They're fucking fake assholes. I mean, they're fake. They're not real. They don't have each other's back. And, you know, most people know I have one friend in this industry she's my best friend. And it's because we always try to have each other's backs no matter what. You know, we want to see each other succeed, but most people don't want to see someone else succeed. It's not okay. They need to win. They need to win. And it's a lot of ego and whatever, and I've never been great at that kind of stuff. I'm just not, like, I can't do it. So I tried my hand at a few facilities, like, you know, I like worked at this one very well-known rehab that's grown a lot, and they gave me all the shittiest, like, scummy accounts. Like, these places are like scum. They're like, here, Allie, work with them, because they thought, like, that's what I was.
When you say accounts, you mean people?
No, I mean treatment centers.
Treatment
So like
centers.
treatment
Like a
centers
treatment
to
center
go
account.
bring them donuts every week to get
Oh,
their
okay,
referrals.
I see.
Right.
Whatever. Wasn't my bag. So, you know, and then all these laws were hitting, right? And I noticed, I'm like, damn, shit's getting lit, right? Like, what the fuck?
You mean they're passing laws?
They're passing new legislation
That are
about
putting more
what's legal,
structure.
what's illegal. Putting more structure, I feel, in a way, has hurt our economy down here a lot. I feel like it cripples halfway houses, which we desperately need sober living and aftercare. It's the most important part, and we don't have it now because most of this legislation has killed it. These people need to make a living. Like, I looked at it like this, like, yo, I'm bringing these kids every day to the gym, to food shop. They buy their own food, but to food shop, I'm getting them food stamps. I'm bringing them to the doctor. I'm making sure they have everything they need. I'm doing case management. That's real case management, okay? The rehab's not doing that now. They don't have to do that. They don't have to house them. They don't have to worry about them all night. They don't have to watch them 24 hours a day. They watch them for 4 hours a day. I do the rest. I deserve that money.
So they just do clinical.
Right, that's how it used to be, and I do all the housing.
And you do everything else.
Yeah, and that's entrepreneurial, you know what I mean? And I felt like that gave a lot of entrepreneurs, like, you can do this. You're not going to make as much money as a rehab, but you can have a purpose. You can hang out with the clients, and you can make money.
And do it your way.
Do it, and have your own program.
Yeah.
So this is what happens when you give drug addicts a way to make a shit ton of money. This is what happens down here. This is how it all happens, in my opinion. You have addicts that are in recovery, or maybe even not recovery, and all of the sudden you've now given 200 out of 400 rehabs, 200 of them probably, you've now given drug addicts big money to be able to own an IOP and own a rehab. And this is how it gets out of hand, because just because you're not using, you're still an addict. You're still going to think of the shadiest fucking ways to make money.
Yep.
And you're still going to do anything it takes to make money. And that's what evolved down here.
Right.
So you've got...
You have people that are willing to
Right.
do unethical shit to make
And then
money.
you mix
Absolutely.
in the competition aspect that you were saying, where it's me against you and you're her, and we're all trying to win.
Right.
That's
And
a-
the people with ethics lose money.
Right. I know this because I know what would come into my head,
Mm.
because my family is in a rehab business.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God, but I know how it happens, because I always had a wife who was never going to do anything fucking shady, who was a real owner, and a daughter who was never going to let me, like, any ideas I would come up with, they would shoot them down immediately. But that's how this thing,
But
in
if
my
you didn't
opinion,
have them around
if I didn't
you-
have them around, you're damn right.
Off to
Because
the
you've got a
races.
bunch of addicts owning a bunch of rehabs,
Yeah.
and their brain is still going to come up with the shadiest, easiest
Sure.
way to fucking make money. That's what happened here.
And the best thing it's given me is the ability, if you can do marketing and treatment, I feel like you can kill it marketing anywhere. Because you are in like the most saturated, competitive, fucked up market there is. If you can do it here, it's like you can do it anywhere, right? And so...
And that, to someone like you, a go-getter like you, is probably appealing. Like, I need to conquer this.
Right. But it wasn't working for me. I opened a call center after like all these laws were coming down. I put myself in a call center because I was like, this is going to be illegal. I don't want to do anything illegal. I'm going to like spend all money on this office and this stuff to just not, I don't want to get in trouble, dude.
Far cry from the girl that was getting high the entire time on house arrest.
Right, really. And during that time we started filming.
Filming what?
American Relapse.
What is American Relapse?
We have a documentary film that we started filming 3 years ago.
Now, you say we.
We, as in...
That's not we. Who
It's
is
not we.
It's
We're
not
not
we.
French.
Who
I
is
know.
it?
It is me, myself, Pat McGee, Frankie Holmes, Ian and Jamie Mannheimer. There's a bunch of people. Adam Lincolnhelp. You know, I guess Jamie and Ian are exec producers. They brought it to Pat. Pat brought on his team. And they shot this doc down here about South Florida. And all the crazy shit we got going on.
So you have a docu-series, a documentary series.
We have a documentary and a docu-series.
And so you have a documentary movie and a series.
Yes.
Where can I see the series?
Viceland, 10 p.m. on Wednesday.
Viceland TV, Viceland, the channel at 10 p.m. on Wednesdays. I can see Allie Severino's dream, another thing you created that's ongoing right now.
Yes.
About the industry in South Florida.
Yes.
No holds barred, real documentary style shooting.
Documentary. They follow. We go. They follow. Things happen. They film.
And the movie won something.
Well,
Right.
yeah, the movie's
The
doing
film
good.
won Best Documentary at the Rhode Island Independent Filmmakers Festival, right?
We won
Yeah.
the Spirit Award, which is like overall best at the Montana.
So these are
Festival.
big film festivals. I know this because I've won a couple insignificant ones. But you have won one that's an Academy Award paneled film festival, the Rhode Island
Right.
International Film Festival. That's big stuff for anybody that doesn't know. In the film festival world, that's a really hard festival to even get into, much less win.
Yeah.
So you're doing big things.
Yeah.
What is the
I want to say, this is not just luck where they just happened upon Allie, found her on the street. She was working for us, and she made the thing happen. I know she emailed Viceland like every fucking day, trying to get them to get down here and start the show, because I was like, sure, Allie, you're gonna have a show. Sure, she's coming into work. I'll be like, yeah, you're gonna have a show. I know.
No one
No, you
believes
keep
me.
telling me about it. I
Yeah.
know.
and when you
I
heard that
hear
from
you.
Michael, you're like, I'm gonna prove it to you. You're gonna see.
Everyone. I was like,
Everybody's gonna see.
I'm making a movie. They're like, cool. I'm like, what the fuck, yo?
Yeah, you guys are supposed to be jumping excited with me.
Right,
man.
this is the thing, dude.
Oh, this is gonna
like,
be
no,
huge.
They got cameras on my car and
Let me
they
ask you a
follow
question.
me.
Now that it is big,
Uh-huh.
now that you're on Viceland,
Yeah.
now that you're winning these big awards,
Yeah.
those people that were like, yeah, sure, the Michael Stones of the world,
Yeah.
that were like, yeah, okay. How's that changed?
Oh, now they just hate on me mad hard. Now they're just, I mean, Mike's obviously not hating on me. The people that have been next to me that know me personally, they love me and they're happy for me. I think they are. But the ones that don't know me, they're very.
How has the reaction been from the recovery community?
It depends on which recovery community.
What do you mean? There's more than one?
Well, from what I've seen, yeah. We have South Florida recovery community. South Florida recovery community that's intertwined with the treatment industry.
So
we have separate things. The industry is not a program, right? Like 12 steps, they don't endorse anything.
So wait, so the South Florida one you're talking about is what Mike was talking about. You and Mike were talking about how it's just this competitive dog eat dog. I got all this money, addicts, and it's. So that's the one. That's the South Florida recovery community that you're talking about that's intertwined with the treatment centers.
Yeah.
And I will say it's not that way now. It's been cleaned up since.
So it's getting better. It's getting untwined.
Absolutely. Yes.
And as it's untwined, though, everyone's so quick to point their fingers at the bad guy.
Yeah.
They're bad. They're bad.
Or
It's
what
like
they perceive
before we
as
didn't
bad.
say anyone was bad. We're all good. But now some of us are bad.
Well, don't you all have the
bad
same
one
mission?
isn't
Isn't the
me.
mission the same?
Yeah.
I mean, if you talk to a Debbie Stone or a Sarah Uzi or a Allie Severino, isn't the mission is all the same for those people? I know those people personally, and you, but I mean, we want to help people. So isn't that the same mission for the entire?
Yeah. But
so how
they
are you
wanna
going? They're
help
the bad
people
guy.
better.
How are they the bad guy if you want the same thing as me? Help me understand.
They want to help. They can help them better. Allegedly.
There's that competition
Like,
you're
it's
saying.
just like, yeah, you're not doing what you say you are. You're a liar. You're fake. And I need my facility to be big, so I'm going to talk bad about that one. Because then it's just so... I don't believe... If someone comes to me and they're like, Allie, I heard this about this person, I'm like, cool. I don't believe anything I hear anymore. It's all fucking bullshit.
I'm the same way.
It's all fucking fake.
I'm the same exact way.
It's so outrageous,
But it blows my mind how it could be like, wait, you can get her cleaner. I can get her cleaner than you did?
Right.
Like, how's that? Whatever.
They're playing
I'll
God.
say it's drug addicts who have been put in. Everybody who's you guys are talking about that's bad talking the show. They're addicts. This is what happens when addicts, and in this case, had their way they were making money taken away now. So, in my opinion, this is what they have to do now: badmouth somebody else because
It's your fault that this happened.
yeah,
They
this
should
is
be
the way
working
they
better
think.
programs than that.
They're
They say that they're
delusional.
part of a recovery program,
Yeah.
and their recovery program would never allow them to have a resentment so deep. That's how I look at it.
It's
Because I've never
so-
resented somebody that
delusional.
to that extent. I don't like people, of course.
So
but I
you're
don't
saying,
put-
just so I understand completely what you guys are saying, okay, so there's these two separate recovery communities. There's the one in South Florida that's very intertwined with the IOPs and the rehabs and the treatment centers and the halfways. You're getting some flack there. Then what's the other one?
Oh man, they're cool. They're just people. You know what? The rest of the people are just people in recovery that just live a life in 12-step meetings or whatever they're doing, or maybe they don't go to meetings, but they're not using drugs anymore like they did, and their families who have been ripped apart by drug addiction and heroin and all this crazy stuff we've got going on, and they show me so much love, and I'm so grateful for that because they help me get through the day. You know, it's like so easy to see mean things said about you, but like then you'll be like, yo, you changed my way I think, or you made my night, or I can't stop watching you. I'm so happy, or I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna help my community now, and it's like awesome. That's great because like at the end of the day, it's art, right? Like it really is art, and it's like it's supposed to make you feel something. And as long as you're talking about me, that means I'm relevant in some way,
Right.
and it's something that needs to be resolved. And I hope that, you know, all the negativity comes to being, because it's like, why? Let's get to that root, and maybe if dogging on me all day can help y'all fucking fix your shit,
Then keep dogging.
do it.
Yeah.
Fix it, because I think we were better together than divided, right? Like I just don't believe in like, you know, there's power in numbers, there's power in just like that kind of, and we're divided, and we'll continue to be slaughtered and stepped over, and rules made that we don't like and laws made that fuck us up if we can't get our shit together. So I mean, if you can all agree to hate me together, cool. Fucking do something else with your time that's productive, you know? Like really. People are saying that like I'm doing something bad. And it's like, wow, really? Because I scholarshiped I got all these client scholarships, and then you gotta think one client isn't one scholarship. One client is a detox scholarship, a treatment scholarship, and an aftercare scholarship, plus sober living.
What would talk to me like I'm 5, because I am sometimes. How much monetary guesstimation, if I wanted to pay for that, self-pay myself out of pocket, the detox, the treatment, and the aftercare, roughly how much would I spend?
Like, even if facilities were being nice to you, it has to be 30 grand.
So minimum 30 grand, and you've got multiple of these for people to help them.
Right. And like they said, okay, can I film you? You okay being filmed over and over and over again? Like, I mean, we're gonna spend days together. We're gonna go into your life. We tell them everything's gonna happen before we film. There's no like cheap shots or gotcha. No, they know they're gonna be filmed.
So they sign that I'm gonna be filmed.
I'm gonna be filmed.
Now
they signed 300 papers. So I'm gonna be filmed.
But I heard that it's like if you get me to sign something and I'm high, how's that work later?
We asked them to sign again.
So you get me to sign again.
Yeah.
When I'm not high. So then I know exactly. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. No. This is what I signed up for.
Concrete.
I love it.
Yeah.
What has your response been to some of the negative responses to the recovery community?
I haven't responded at all.
You can now.
I can. It's like, it's bad for your health to be so angry. And like, instead of bitching on Facebook, if you hate me and you think you can do what I do, then go do it. Go to your local hood and go help somebody there. Go do it. You know what I mean? Go tell everyone how you're better than Allie because you helped more people than me today. I don't care, dude. Like, it's just like really sad. And like with the making fun of how somebody looks, it's like really sad. Like that's like, I wouldn't want people like that helping my child. So if like you're trying to put on a front that like, hey, we're doing good and we're better, well, guess what? I wouldn't want anyone helping my kid that was suffering if I saw the harsh words that came out of y'all's mouths. Because the rest of the public doesn't see the show how you guys, you don't even watch it, see it. You know, and it's just like, it's really sad. And if you have something to say to me, come to have coffee with me personally. You know, you hate me, to fucking get in line, dude.
One thing I've heard in the rooms of recovery as well is that we're not supposed to shoot our wounded. So that I think is a common theme. And another thing I think when you're talking about the film and stuff is, and I've been kind of battling with this myself because I'm an artist too, and the 11th tradition, which is we practice anonymity on the level of film, TV, and press and radio. But when was that written? It wasn't written.
I think it's still, for me, I think it's very important. I don't break, I might say I'm in recovery, but I don't text.
Yeah, how do you walk that fine line?
Don't say what meetings you go to, what fellowship you attend. Like, if you want to ask me how I personally got better, ask me personally. I will tell you personally. Like, you just heard my story, but like, I don't go to AA or rep NA or do this. I don't think it's right. I don't want someone to say, Allie's a poster child for AA. No, I'm not.
And the reason for that is because, God forbid, if you were the poster child and then you fell later, it gives the whole AA a bad
name.
Right.
Or you just don't like me in general. Don't want to be like me.
But I associate
not going to do what I did.
That bitch.
Right.
She's AA, so FAA too. Right.
Yeah, I don't
think
ever say
that the whole social media thing, I'm sitting here thinking about why she gets all those comments, and there's like no logical or reasonable reason that I can even come up with at all.
Jealousy and envy.
Social media. Jealousy and envy starts at one person who doesn't like Allie makes a comment.
Or it could be not
and
even her not liking them. Or
before you know it, there's 400 other people jumping on to the whole, it's a social media...
Like a mob.
...thing, yes. Yeah. It becomes a social media thing because they all...
You never say it to my face.
Before you know it, there's 300 people who have jumped on to this one person who commented, and that's how the social media thing works. It becomes like everybody jumps in on it, even though they have no idea what they're even talking about at all.
See, my thing is, too, is if I really think you're hurting people, or I really believe you're murdering people, or whatever it is, if I really, truly believe that, and I'm going to sleep thinking this guy and this girl are out there killing people, let me go to sleep now. Wouldn't I try to, like, let me send a private investigator in there, or try to send a hidden camera, try to catch you killing people, or in the process of killing people.
Or contact
instead of just talking about it.
Or find someone that knows you personally.
Right. Like, if I really believe that Allie's going to kill somebody tonight, what can I do to stop her?
Right.
Besides just being a keyboard warrior. There's got to be other ways.
And the best part is that we have, like, the state attorney on our side.
Dave Ehrenberger.
He watched our show.
Who runs the whole opiate
He runs it.
fight.
That's
he
how
watched our show
delusional
on
that these
Wednesdays.
people are.
He thinks we're doing awesome. Justice.
And he runs the Sober Task Force.
Right.
Yeah.
My judge called my dad. My Judge Labarga, who gave me my sentence when I was 18, he called my dad this week. He's a justice of the Supreme Court now. He said, "I'm so happy I made that decision. Like, I wish Allie..."
Wait, this was the judge that you pleaded the youth thing?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So he's seen you go full circle.
Yeah. And my dad was like, "What?" Yeah. Like, you know, my dad's very happy. And like, remember, I got a family too, dude. You know, you're not the only one making your family proud. Like, my dad's so happy. Like, and the comments piss him off the most. Like,
oh, I'm sure that's his little girl.
Yo, he gets so mad. So, you know, there's other people involved.
I think you're doing amazing. I mean, that's an understatement. I think that you're an innovator. I think you're a pioneer. I think that you're a pillar in this community, and we need more of you. So if you could just give the viewers maybe one last, like, remember how you were like, I want to be that banker guy or whatever it was in your story. I want to be that guy. There's somebody out there there's people that want to be like you.
Right.
So what are the steps they can take to obtain that?
Best advice I've ever given was just be adaptable to change. Change. Be able to change. Change easily. Change quickly. Change if you have to. You know what I mean? Like, just the people that succeed are the ones that can most easily adapt to changes. You know, you can't fight everything. Sometimes things happen for a reason. And trust your instincts and your gut, and stay close to whatever is grounding you. For me, it's my higher power. It's not like any crazy God thing, but I have a higher power. And I try and trust that his vision's perfect and I'm doing the stitches.
How can fans of yours, myself, Michael, the viewers, how can we follow you? Where can I go?
Well, you go to Instagram at Allie Severino _. You can go to my website, allieseverino.com, Facebook, Allie Severino, Twitter, Allie Severino.
Well, it's been awesome having you. Michael and I really appreciate it. People like you that are doing the things you're doing is exactly the type of people we want on this show.
Thanks,
so thank
Justin. I'm excited to be here. Thanks, guys.
So, Allie, what would you say to those people that are in that recovery community in South Florida that are intertwined, that are thinking you're doing the wrong thing somehow in this show that you're doing? What would you say to them? What would your message be to those people that should be supporting?
Honestly, you don't have to support me, but I have upwards of 500 messages already from the show, and a lot of people need help.
You personally have these messages?
I personally have these messages in my Facebook, on my Instagram, on my email. These people need help. Our facility, Daylight Detox, is giving out scholarships.
So your facility is Daylight Detox and Recovery?
Yeah, Daylight Detox and Recovery Centers, they've always had my back. They're amazing people. They're like the best, but we're giving out scholarships. What are you doing?
So that's the one place that's really helping you right now, but you need more help.
We need more help.
She's got more than she can handle, so if you really
want
to make a difference...
Want to be a good person? I'll shout you out. You don't have to love me, but you can love the person that's still sick and suffering that needs help.